Welcome to BalletWise. My name is Michael Wise, and we're here to help you. Now, I've had an illustrious career, danced all over the world as a principal dancer, and I've been in good companies and bad companies, and I've learned a lot over the years. I've helped train multiple dancers that have gone off to professional careers. I've helped professional dancers raise their standards and get further in their careers. And over the years, we have found that so many of you, your problem isn't your training. The problem is what's in your head. So, are you the kind of person that thinks too much? Or are you the kind of person who doesn't think? All of that matters. I like to say sometimes you need to get some stupid. It doesn't mean you're stupid. Most dancers are some of the most intellectual individuals I know. The problem is that gets in the way. You've got to be able to turn it off. Ballet is an art form of movement. It's an art form of our emotions. It's an art form. Art forms aren't to be controlled. Art forms are to be released. And when you're in class and you're overthinking it, and we've all overthought the process, we're all control freaks. We have to be. And many of you have heard differing things in regards to how do I do this? How do I do that? This person does it this way. This person does it that way. So all you're left to doing is, well, am I doing it right? Oh my God. It's like you go crazy. How many times? There are multiple times you're probably going to be the one standing in the back of the class going, am I the one that's nuts? Am I the stupid one? Because I just don't get it. Every dancer's had that. Everyone has had that moment. And most likely had that moment multiple times. And what it comes down to is the fact that we're all individuals. We all think differently. There are those of us that let go and have trouble remembering the combination, but are having the time of our lives. And there are the rest of us that, you're the intellectual type. You remember the combination, you do everything absolutely right, but you are cold as stone when you dance. Now, you have to find that balance in between. For those of us that have a tendency to overthink it, we have to learn that we can't control everything. True control is not you controlling it. It's knowing and being able to trust that it will work. Now think about that for a second. You cannot over-control it. Yes, we have to work on turnout. Yes, we have to work on extension. We have to work on our postures. We have to work on 999 things, all at the same time. That's nuts. So what do you do? Do you try to control all 999? No. You work on them in stages, and when you feel like you get control of something, you let your body control it. But the number one problem we have is you can't get out of your head. You're stuck. You're constantly questioning. You're wondering, why isn't this working? Why isn't? Why did that work right now and it's not working again? Why could I do that pirouette now? Why? That's what's going on in many of our brains. Stop it. Let go. One of the ballet masters in Moscow Classical said something to me that has resonated through my entire career. Don't you work the class. Let the class work for you. That means don't you try to control it. Let it work. Only do what is needed, no more. Understand how the technique works and address the issues that need to be addressed. But if you try to overcomplicate it, you're going to fail. That's why I like to say you need to get some stupid. You need to let it go. You need to stop thinking. Now we have you all know these individuals, the ones that probably can't remember or save the combination in their brains at all. They're constantly looking around the room trying to figure out what happens next. But yet they have a quality about their dancing that is weirdly entertaining. Well, it's not because we like to watch them flail. It's because they have a tendency to disconnect from their brains earlier. They have to work on reconnecting. But it is easier for them to disconnect. Does it mean they're stupid? We don't know. Some might call me stupid, because I could rarely I would remember a combination. Still to this day, I forget combinations that I'm teaching in class. But it's just a part of who I am. But we have to understand that we have to be free to move, free to dance. Freedom is not control. If we over-control it, if we're in our heads constantly, how can you be free to move? How can you be free to dance? And so many of you find that freedom in another form of dance, but not in ballet. Because to you in ballet, it's all about control and discipline and pulled up and is my arm correct? Is this correct? Is that correct? We go into a micromanaging position. But when we go into another style or another form of dance, we feel that freedom and it's intoxicating. But you can have that freedom in ballet. But it requires you to understand that micromanaging is not the option. Letting go is. Relax through your movement. Yes, there are going to be times where we need to really double down and focus on hitting that fifth position, or hitting that perfect arm, or getting that little bit extra in those jumps. That's a fact. I'm not asking you to turn that off. I'm asking for you to know when you should turn it on and when you should turn it off. And the majority of you are probably having this issue. Now, I'm never really had too much of that of an issue because I was usually a little bit out there. And that's just being honest. I don't remember combinations well. And I just love the feeling of dancing. But I had to be taught to think. I had to stop dancing so I could work on the technique. But many of you are comfortable working on the technique, but then when it's time to dance, we're shut off, we're closed. We just don't have that freedom. That's where you need to learn, now repeat it with me, to get some stupid. Doesn't mean that you are stupid. It means we have to let go. Stop controlling, stop thinking. Let our bodies do their jobs. Dancing requires freedom. Dancing requires us to let go, to give in. We've trained our bodies well. We shouldn't have to think about hitting that arabesque or having to hit that pirouette. Now, that's what rehearsals are for. That's what classwork is for, to work on those things. But when it's time to dance, when you're in that rehearsal running that variation, or you're in the middle and doing some of the combinations, you've got to be able to find that freedom. You've got to be able to find a place where you can just let it happen. Let it work for you instead of you always working for it. I like to say, you know you're on the right track when you have moments of brilliance. When you are allowing yourself to have that freedom, you line yourself up and you hit it. And you don't know how you did it. You don't know why you did it. It just worked. You know what? You weren't in your head. You let yourself go. For a moment, you found some stupid. And that's what it takes. But then you'll immediately turn around and try to micromanage the living daylights out of it, and then you can't do it. It falls all over the place, and you get frustrated. That's not an option. That's just disaster. But if you can trust yourself, trust your body, trust your technique, even if it's not right, you are going to find a way to let it work for you, not against you. So every single time you hear someone say, get out of your head, the reason why you get stuck in your head is you're intelligent. You're smart. You care. These are all wonderful qualities that we have to have. But if we want something too much, we're not willing to let it happen for us because we have to control it. If we understand what the combination is, but we're afraid we're going to make a mistake, we're going to try to over-control it. We're getting back in our head. We as dancers are trained and designed to be in our heads. And then we're told, get out of your head. It's an oxymoron. And no, I'm not calling you a moron. The whole point is you can't have both. You've got to be able to fluctuate between the two. I've said this in a lot of my videos, that there's a differences between types of dancers. There are those that are more born in the world of that discipline, and there are those that are born in the world of chaos. Chaos is that freedom. But when you have all that freedom and no control, it's a disaster. If you have all that control but no freedom, you're never free. So you have to find that balance right there in the middle, where you have part of your brain, okay, I need to double down right here at this point. Now I get to be free. Now I get to go. Now I can trust myself. Wait, stop. We need to double down again here. All right, now we can dance. Now we can flow. It's this give and take. You don't want to be all the way over here and dealing with the chaos all the time. But you also don't want to be all the way over here and you're over-controlling and you can't feel. This is what I mean by getting out of your head. Stop thinking. Start feeling. Know what a tendu feels like. Not what you think it is, what it genuinely feels like. What does a plie feel like? What does it remind you of? Don't trust that someone else is going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. I don't know you can. Ballet isn't easy. And I'll be honest, it's not for everyone. But dance is. We all can dance, including the guy that stands in the corner and just shakes his hips and bounces his head. We all can dance. But for those of us that have found our love in ballet, it's because there is that discipline. But there's still room to bring some of that chaos in that allows you to be free. So remember, you need to get some stupid. You need to allow yourself to turn it off, to be present, to feel, and not worry about the consequences. Remember, no matter what you do, you're not failing. You're learning. You're exploring. That's what this movement allows us to do. It's what dance is. So don't beat yourself up. Remind yourself that sometimes we have to let go to get more control. Sometimes we have to be present and not thinking 12 steps ahead. Because dance is a feeling art form. It's not just that control. It's not just the technique. I've seen thousands of dancers that have mind-blowing technique, but they're numb. They can't get out of their heads. I've also seen dancers that, oh my God, they blow you away, but their technique needs a lot of work. You're going to be one of the two. But your goal is to merge those together, because you want to be the dancer that knows when they have to work on that technique and knows how to let go and be present and dance. So hopefully this is something you've needed to hear, something that helps you kind of get out of your head, helps you get some stupid. Not because you are, it's because you aren't. And sometimes we need to let go. Now, if this is something that you've enjoyed, if you feel like that what I'm saying to you connects and helps you move on, give us a thumbs up. If you really value this information, subscribe. Because a lot of you are watching these videos, but so few of you actually subscribe. And we want to be able to continue this. We want to be that mentor that you're not getting. Because once again, there are a lot of people out there that can teach you how to do a tendu, some good, some bad. But no one is talking about where we need to be here. Where we need to be here. And that's just as important. Because art with no feeling is not art. Think about that. So, my name's Michael Wise. This has been BalletWise. And what's the most important thing for you to do? Is keep dancing and be the best that you can be. Hopefully we'll see you the next time. Bye.